shout out to Jeff Carter for bringing together the entire city of New York in beautiful unity of all wanting to drag his ass down 8th Avenue. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Glove Drop. The New York Rangers have tied the series 1-1. I gotta say, man, coming off of game 1, there was no doubt in my mind that the Rangers were gonna come through with a response. Game 1 was... what is officiating? I don't even know. What is being a referee? Game 1 going into 3 OT, that was a little too much. The New York Rangers managed to keep it together, and in that postgame, after game 1, not a single Ranger player nor Gerard Gallant showed really any signs of frustration. They let that game go. It happened, boom, done, put it in the back. The Rangers' ability to do that and not carry over any of that frustration into the next game is one of the biggest factors in why they have been so successful this season. As much of a physical sport as hockey is, it is just as much so a mental sport, and the Rangers really have that down pat. The maturity level is through the roof. I should probably take notes on these guys and their maturity level, because Lord knows I could definitely use a little bit more. More importantly, let's talk about last night's game 2. The New York Rangers come up with a 5-2 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Aside from maybe the first 5 minutes in the third period, the Rangers had all of the momentum and they took over. The Rangers are coming into this game without Barclay Goodrow and without Ryan Lindgren. Goodrow is out with a lower body injury. He's week to week. Ryan Lindgren, he showed just how tough he is in game 1 after leaving and going into the locker room and then returning, but he is now listed as day to day. The Rangers are facing some more adversity. Adam Fox does not have his normal D partner. He's going to be paired up with Justin Braun, and Adam Fox's ability to readjust is amazing, and it was seamless the way the Rangers were able to fill in those gaps. The Pittsburgh Penguins were also down a few players, mainly their goaltender. Tristan Jarry, he's been out. Casey DeSmith starting goalie now, but Casey DeSmith leaves during second OT in the middle of a Rangers attack. Obviously, I do not know what's wrong with him, but what does that leave the Pens with? That leaves them with Louis Dominguez, who is a third string goalie. Let's get real here. He's an AHL goalie. Like everybody says, the Pens are such a great team. You've got Crosby, this, that, and their goaltending was never really a huge factor in why they're so successful. However, the New York Rangers come into the game and they make a statement right off the bat. Ryan Reeves throws a hit on Evgeny Malkin. Malkin does not even see it coming, and that sets the tone for the rest of the game, showing the Pittsburgh Penguins how strong the Rangers are. And the New York Rangers were aggressive from there on out, throwing 40 hits. Normally the team that is losing is going to be throwing more hits, but the New York Rangers, they were laying guys out left and right. In the playoff, Ryan Reeves is incredible. We're also seeing other players step up. Playoff Lafreniere is unreal. So aggressive across the board. Like I've said in my previous video, this little boy has turned into a man. And he is not backing down. And we're seeing the entire team come out this real understanding of how good they are as well as how strong they are. There is one New York Ranger player who during game 1 seemed a little not off, but just too relaxed, and that's Artemi Panarin. And there was some mistakes that he made in the first game, which at the start of game 2, we were seeing again. Sidney Crosby is able to strip Panarin of the puck.
Guys, they had 75 turnovers.
Very uncharacteristic. Panarin is trying to enter the zone, and Crosby very easily takes the puck from him, and that leads to Jake Gensel scoring a goal to tie the game.
Over to 87. Trouba does a nice job of standing him up and beating.
And it was as if somebody flipped a switch in Panarin, and he went from chinchillin to dialed in. Even his body language changed, and Panarin ends up getting first star of the game. He scores 1 goal, 2 assists. I don't know if he was preheating the oven for game 1 in those first few minutes of game 2. The oven's been preheated and the bread is being served hot, fresh, and ready. The New York Rangers were also killing it on special teams. These special teams were extra special teams. They go 1 for 4 in the power play, and they managed to kill off 2 Pittsburgh penalties. One of them, they hold the Pittsburgh Penguins to 0 shots on goal. Now let's just talk about what we're all here to talk about anyway, and that is what happened in the third period, because what happened in the third period was some absolute bullshit. Jeff Carter lays a hit on Igor Shesterkin that puts him on the ice on his back, and he is motionless.
Left it for Fox.
Yes, Shesterkin stepped out of the crease to play the puck, but this was not an accidental hit. And I don't know who the hell Mike Sullivan thinks he is sitting there in the postgame trying to suggest that it was.
I think it was just hockey. I don't think there was any intent there.
Watching that replay, you see Jeff Carter, he drops his shoulder and he leans into it.
Player to make him go around you to give your defenseman a little more time with the puck, right?
Clearly, making an attempt to take Shesterkin out. Mike Sullivan is a clown right now for trying to say that that wasn't the case. After this hit on Shesterkin, everything goes quiet. Not only is everybody at MSG on the edge of their seat, every single person who's a Rangers fan that is watching this is instantly sitting there with your jaw on the floor. And as soon as the trainer comes out, something happened to me that made me realize that it was absurd. So I have really bad eczema, and I see the trainer come out, and all of a sudden my neck and my ears and my face are bright red. That hit triggers me into an autoimmune response because of the stress levels, which is why my face is swollen right now. That whole incident made me have an eczema flare-up, so I really care about this team. The only thing more absurd is the fact that Igor Shesterkin was able to then get up, shake it off, and finish the game. He is not human. So Shesterkin's back in net. Everybody can finally breathe. The Pittsburgh Penguins are very frustrated. Things are getting very aggressive. In the last few periods of the game, we're seeing Ryan Reaves out on the ice a lot more, because if Reaves is on the ice, it is going to completely deter anybody from pulling any stupid move like that. If you have a thought of, oh, I'm gonna go pull a dirty hit, you're not gonna do that. Ryan Reaves will stop you in your track the second you start to think about pulling a dick move like that. So the game wraps up and the Rangers win 5-2. Igor Shesterkin, incredible performance, especially in those first 5 minutes of that third period. Pittsburgh took all of the momentum. They really came in and pressed. Fortunately, the Rangers, having done so all season, were able to get back momentum, and they've been able to get it back faster as time has gone on. But those 5 minutes, Shesterkin stood on his head, and the Rangers quickly regathered the momentum and take back over the game. So Shesterkin gets second star of the game. Frank Vetrano comes in with 1 goal and 2 assists, getting third star of the game. And our breadman, after that switch was flipped, he comes out 1 goal, 2 assists, and he gets first star of the game. Keandre Miller on the D line, he gets 2 assists. Keandre Miller has been incredible, and he's continuing to be incredible. And not only the consistency in certain players, but the consistency throughout the entire team. All 4 lines are showing some serious strength. And going into game 3, the few things that the Rangers just need to focus on is minimizing takeaways and keeping the momentum on their side the entire time. So going into game 3, I'm really excited to see what these Rangers are going to do. I have a feeling that they are going to come in with just as much heat, especially considering what had gone down in the third period. I think there is absolutely a lot of bulletin board material coming from that one. And unlike the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Rangers are able to take that bulletin board material and use it in their favor rather than allow it to get under their skin and have them make stupid plays and stupid penalties and get tossed from the game. So the other 3 games from last night, all game 2, the Florida Panthers managed to beat the crap out of the Washington Capitals in their 5-1 win, tying the series. The Capitals are without Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson, it's so hard to feel bad. Like, I hope you're not injured, but you make it really hard to care about you. Just such a dick. He was injured in the first period of game 1, not until after he'd already scored the goal to open everything up. But Florida Panthers managed to take that insane offense that they have and tie that series up. The Colorado Avalanche managed to extend their series lead to 2 over Nashville in their 2-1 win over the Predators. And that is a violent series. If you're into that, you should definitely check that out. Last but not least, the Dallas Stars tie up the series over the Calgary Flames with a 2-0 win. Every single series is tied at this point after game 2, with the exception of the Colorado Avalanche, who are, of course, leading over the Nashville Predators 2-0, and the Carolina Hurricanes, who are leading the Boston Bruins 2-0. 4 games on deck tonight. Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Boston Bruins, see if they can extend that to 3. The St. Louis Blues and the Minnesota Wild down in St. Louis. That series is tied 1-1 after Minnesota responded big with a hat trick from Kirill Kaprizov after being shut out in game 1 in front of a home crowd. That's embarrassing. Let's see if Kirill Kaprizov can figure it out to give the Minnesota Wild that lead. The Toronto Maple Leafs are down in Florida tonight, taking on the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning after shutting them out in game 1, but then getting it right back in their face when the Tampa Bay Lightning beats them in game 2. And last but not least, the Edmonton Oilers are in California taking on the LA Kings. That series is also tied. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming through. If you are new here, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on those notifications. I will be having update videos. So if you don't want to miss any of the action, go hit that button now. Let me know in the comments what you think about how these playoffs have gone as we have wrapped up the first 2 games. If you want even more of the Glove Drop, you can definitely go and check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at the Glove Drop. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on right there. Keep your eyes out. I will be having some recap videos coming out tomorrow, maybe even tonight. Who knows? I got nothing to do and it's raining. In the meantime, I'm going to go find the cortisone cream to take care of the fact that the stress levels of playoff hockey are enough to make me itchy.